Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a unique plunge. Maybe not into ancient history or, complex science, but something way more relatable. We're talking about the absurdities of modern life seen through, well, the lens of comedy. We're deep diving into a concept I guarantee you've either experienced yourself or definitely seen happening around you. Our topic is the free trial mentality. It's kind of everywhere, right? Often hiding in plain sight, shaping how we approach, well, everything from dating to paying bills. We'll be digging into some hilarious and honestly pretty insightful stuff from LoopLaugh episode 2, The Free Trial Mentality by Devon McLarty. That's dated August 22, 2025. So our mission today, let's break down the comet of brilliance here and see how it holds up the surprisingly clear mirror to our modern commitment issues. Makes us laugh, makes us think. Okay, let's unpack this. So the core idea in Loop Love episode 2 is this really compelling thought that lots of people are basically living life like everything comes with a refund button. That's quite an observation, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And that's precisely why it's such perfect material for comedy.
Yeah, that feeling of always looking for the exit ramp, the no strings way out.
Exactly. What's really interesting is how the sketch pinpoints this wider trend. It goes way beyond just buying stuff. We're talking about big life things here, significant stuff.
Like what specifically?
Well, think about dating or career choices, therapy even, just basic adult responsibilities. They're increasingly treated like they're just, 7-day trials. The feeling underneath is always, look, if this gets too hard or it's inconvenient or maybe just doesn't give me that instant buzz, I can just cancel.
Right. Bail out.
Yeah. And the humor really comes from showing that gap, that disconnect. We know life doesn't work that way, no endless refunds. But our behavior, sometimes it suggests otherwise. It's that clash between what we expect and what's real, just served up with a punchline.
And that's exactly what we're going to explore. How comedy, with its, sharp, sometimes over-the-top style, lets us laugh at ourselves, but also maybe nudge us to think about why we act this way.
It's almost like getting therapy from a stand-up comic.
Huh. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so let's talk about the delivery style described for LoopLaugh. The source calls it roast meets real talk, and it emphasizes an exaggerated, high-energy approach. You can kind of picture that vibe immediately, right?
Oh, totally. And that specific style, it's actually crucial for making the whole thing work. By mixing that sharp, direct roast feel with the kind of relatable, conversational real talk, the comedian can tackle some pretty serious, maybe uncomfortable social things without sounding like they're lecturing you.
Right, avoids being preachy.
Exactly. The high energy, the exaggeration, it's not just for show. It amps up the absurdity of it all. Makes these complex behaviors easier to laugh at, easier to digest. It's a smart way to get past our usual defenses. And the idea mentioned about maybe having sketches with characters like a trial boyfriend or a trial employee, that just takes the comedy potentially even further.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like the situational humor you could get from someone literally having a 7-day contract for a boyfriend, complete with a cancellation clause? It's almost too perfect for making fun of this mentality.
A trial boyfriend sketch that nails it. Sorry, your subscription to my emotional availability just expired. End of the probationary period.
Brief chuckle.
It really does make you wonder how many real situations feel like an undeclared trial for at least one person involved.
Definitely.
Okay, let's pivot to some of the actual jokes from LoopLaugh episode 2. This first one hits financial responsibility right between the eyes. And it's probably something many of us have seen or maybe even felt that little impulse ourselves. The joke is, you don't need a trial to know you can't afford that car. Return the keys, bro.
Small f. Yeah, that line's great. It's so sharp, it's simple. It just brilliantly skewers that tendency we have sometimes to, stretch ourselves too thin financially or make these impulse buys while kind of clinging to this subconscious hope that there's going to be some escape hatch, some trial period way out.
Even when it's blindingly obvious.
Right. Even when, like the joke says, the financial reality is staring you right in the face. It perfectly captures that tension between wanting something now, that shiny car, and the need for, well, sensible long-term planning. We want the fancy thing without committing to the actual cost, just hoping for that imaginary refund button. It's wanting the look without the affordability.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? Like trying on a crazy expensive jacket you can't buy, but just for a second you live the fantasy, almost expecting the shop assistant to gently say, maybe put that back now.
Exactly.
And that final return the keys, bro. It's just such a perfect, sharp little wake-up call to that self-delusion.
Spot on.
All right, moving on. This next joke, It dives into the, let's say, often confusing world of modern dating and commitment. It makes a really pointed observation about how actions and words can just go in completely opposite directions. Listen to this one. Shorty said, I'm not ready for love, but she moved in after 3 dates. Netflix ain't even moved that fast.
Yeah.
Smiling.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's really insightful and funny, too. It just perfectly flags those huge contradictions. And maybe, let's be honest, the commitment fears that are pretty common in relationships today.
Yeah, you see that a lot.
The comedy comes from that stark difference, right, between what's said, I'm not ready for love, and the actual behavior, which in this case, moving in after 3 dates. That signals a really fast, deep level of integration, both emotional and physical.
Definitely not taking it slow.
Not at all. And comparing it to Netflix, that's clever because it highlights how fast modern relationships can sometimes move, but at the same time, there's this hesitation to actually put a label on it or fully commit. I mean, even Netflix asks, are you still watching?
Oh, yeah.
Before it commits to the next episode, right? Let alone a whole season.
Oh, good point.
So the joke really skewers that desire to have all the benefits of a committed thing, shared space, intimacy, but without the actual declared commitment, keeping that mental refund button handy. It paints this picture of wanting all the perks, doesn't it? Shared apartment, toothbrush in the bathroom, emotional support, but actively dodging any labels or talk of the future. It's like a really, really long, complicated situationship trial.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the idea that Netflix shows more commitment than some dating scenarios, that's just a brilliant way to capture that dynamic. Here's where it gets really interesting when you see how this applies elsewhere too, like our final example. This one shifts focus to entrepreneurship, or really just the effort needed for any new project. This joke will probably hit home for anyone who's started something all fired up only to watch it fizzle out fast. The joke is, some y'all start businesses like y'all order Uber Eats and cancel mid-route.
Oof, yeah. That's another incredibly sharp one. This joke just expertly critiques that, well, often kind of superficial approach people can have to new things. Could be starting a business, sure, or picking up a hobby, even a fitness goal.
Right, that initial burst of excitement.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you're waiting for that food delivery. But then that excitement fades super quick at the first sign of trouble, the first little bump in the road. And that cancel mid-route metaphor, it's perfect because it shows this basic lack of perseverance. It's not even about getting there and deciding it's not right for you.
No, it's giving up before you really try.
Precisely. Giving up just because the journey got a bit tricky or it needed more effort than you first thought. It really speaks to this wider reluctance, maybe, to put in the grit, the sustained effort, the resilience that anything truly worthwhile actually demands.
It's the ultimate free trial approach applied to ambition, isn't it? You sign up for the gym, you go once, realize, wow, this is hard, and then decide it's not for me before the first month is even done.
Or you launch that creative project, hit one snag, and just cancel mid-route, like the joke says, before giving it a real chance to develop.
So when you look at these jokes together, the money impulsiveness, the relationship ambiguity, the lack of follow-through on projects, they paint this really vivid picture. It's like this societal hesitation to fully invest ourselves, whether that means our time, our emotions, or just plain hard work.
Yeah, it's like we're always subconsciously looking for the easiest path, for that refund button, instead of actually leaning into the challenge.
So after this pretty funny but also insightful trip through the free trial mentality, the big question, really, for you listening is, what does all this actually mean for you personally?
Well, I think it means that while this whole free trial mentality is definitely, as we've seen, a gold mine for humor,
Yeah.
it also points to some very real underlying challenges. Challenges in how we handle responsibilities and try to build real, lasting connections in a world that feels increasingly fast and honestly sometimes overwhelming. The patterns we saw in those jokes, the tendency to overspend, the vagueness in relationships, the projects that stall out, they all highlight this kind of collective struggle with commitment and just sticking with things. We're constantly offered easy outs, quick fixes, and the comedy just holds up a mirror to how much we've kind of absorbed that expectation.
Right, it's become normalized.
Yeah. And it encourages us maybe to do a bit of critical self-reflection. Like, how often do we go into situations with this unspoken trial period in mind? Even when, deep down, we know that real growth, real connection, real achievement, it needs full-on, unwavering investment. It kind of asks us to think about the hidden costs of never fully committing.
Yeah, absolutely. It really forces you to think about the difference between just dabbling in something and truly dedicating yourself. And that leads us perfectly to the final, really powerful thought from the LoopLaugh episode itself. It's a brilliant way to wrap it all up, summarizing everything we've talked about with one last punch. The message is basically, moral of the story, life don't come with a return policy. Stop living like you got Amazon Prime on your responsibilities.
Wow. Yeah, that line hits hard, doesn't it? Because it's funny, it's a jab, but it carries such a deep truth. It's pushing us really directly to think about what it actually means to commit, to embrace the difficulties that come with any real undertaking.
Mm, the messy parts.
Exactly. And to understand that some of the best, most fulfilling parts of life, whether that's a deep relationship, a career you build, serious personal growth, they just require full investment, not just a casual, temporary free trial. There's no easy refund for the time, the effort, the authentic self you put into things that truly matter. It's about showing up fully, accepting the whole journey, ups and downs, and realizing some of the most valuable stuff is just non-refundable.
That's a powerful way to put it, non-refundable experiences. And that really leaves us and you with a final thought to chew on, maybe long after this deep dive is over. What part of your own life might you be, maybe unconsciously, treating like it's still in a free trial period? And what might actually happen, what could change, if you decided truly, fully to just cancel that return policy altogether?